Top 10 creepy, yet to happen Simpson predictions. Now, if you've been watching a few of these videos, you've probably already seen the standard ones like 9/11 and NSA wiretapping and spying, or maybe also the hints of an iPod design before it happened. But I know you haven't seen one on these very odd, yet to happen Simpson predictions, which we actually see certain things in our culture and technology going this direction. Number one, going online with your mind. In this episode of Holidays of Future Past, Lisa Simpson's daughter keeps going online to avoid talking with her mother. And every time she goes online, she basically passes out, and she's just literally a log on a seat. If you think this is all science fiction, you may be a little shocked to find out that they're already able to project various images that people are thinking onto a video screen. With most of the mind being already mapped out and knowing how to predict people's thoughts somewhat, they're just a few steps away from doing something like this where they could project into your mind various 3D realms, and then you would also be able to project out what you're thinking. So indeed, this technology isn't that far into the future. Something like this could actually be just around the corner. Number two, sex or companion robots. In this episode, we also saw Margie's two sisters with companion or sex robots. One of them being a male, one of them being a female. And what's odd in this scene is that actually the two robots leave Marge's sisters and go for each other. Now, you might think this is something that ain't going to happen anytime soon, but we already actually have sex robots, believe it or not. It's pretty disturbing, but they are already on the market. You have very realistic looking sex dolls, and you also even have sex doll robots now, but they're not obviously able to walk around and talk to you. Yet you already know they're going that direction and one day will. It'd be a little bit creepy seeing those things walking around with people, and you wouldn't even know if one is a robot, maybe in some cases if they design them quite well. Number three, Sharia law in America. In this scene, we have Milhouse mentioning to Lisa, his wife, that he has his seasonal allergies again, and he just doesn't want to be around Christmas because he gets sick every time. So Lisa suggests that he goes to Michigan, where Sharia law is still in place, and he says he will go do it, but he doesn't like doing it because every time he goes to Michigan, they make him wear a burqa. Of course, it's trying to be funny, but actually there is a little bit of truth to this, okay? Dearborn, Michigan is probably the biggest place for Muslim immigration right now in America, and there actually are signs of things like Sharia law starting there. You can see videos on YouTube covering this. And as we know, America's sort of behind Europe right now. If you go check out Europe, there's a lot of places in Europe where they have Sharia law compliance on banks, on food, on different districts in the UK and Sweden. Places in these countries which are effectively Sharia law compliant, where basically Muslims are in control of that region. And if you're not Muslim and you walk through there, you might not come out unscathed. Let's just put it that way. So just check out some videos online if you want to see more of that. But this is where America is heading if we continue down this political correct, rabbit trail that Europe went down. We could end up having a whole state Sharia compliant, okay, which sounds really disturbing to me. Number four, human cloning. In this scene here, Wiggum is shown to have many clones of himself and seemingly can't stay alive very long. Apparently his clones keep killing accidentally his other clones, so it's sort of a funny scene, but in actuality, we already have legislation in certain parts of Europe where cloning is illegal, human cloning. And they've been doing human cloning trials with... Actually, there's been some illegal cloning of humans as well that's been done in Europe and also in America. It's very controversial topic, obviously, and you already know that they can do it with animals. They've already done it with various sheep and other animals. So obviously this could be something definitely down the road. And who knows, maybe a few of those actors and actresses you see on TV have already been cloned. Just do a few searches on your favorite celebrities here on YouTube. Michael Jackson, Oprah Winfrey. You'll see various photos that seemingly look a little different than the other ones. And then people have these conspiracy theories that maybe they've already been cloned because the first one died. Number 5, cashless society.
It was against the law. What my mama saw. It was against the law.
Help me, my children!
What
are you after? What a cashless society!
We can already see a progression towards going cashless with the chipped card, and actually over in the UK they have a touchless payment system where you just wave your phone over a payment processor, or you just wave your card over it. And they even have these bracelets now where you just wave your bracelet over it. And it's a clean, sanitary thing, they say. But you could go a little conspiratorial with this and consider what Aaron Russo said shortly before he died, that the elite bankers want to have a cashless society for a particular reason. They want to have you chipped so that they can control everything. They can control the money. If you owe some money, they don't like you, they can just turn off your money. They turn your chip off, you don't have any money. It's an odd conspiracy, but I actually think there's a lot to that, because some of these alleged improvements for credit card processing actually aren't any better. You look at this new chip in our cards that recently came out. It takes longer to pay for your groceries now. And if you look at the UK's changes with this, just wave your card over the credit card processing machine, it's actually not any faster than if you just swiped your card. And it's also, I could go into great detail, but I could actually argue that a lot of these changes aren't actually better in many ways, and it definitely doesn't protect your privacy. With Japan, they've been introducing fingertip payments where you just use your fingerprints. And if you think about it, that's completely insane for protection of your privacy and your security. Just consider the fact that you could just take someone's print off a cup they threw away, and then you can go on a spending spree with their fingertip print. I mean, it's kind of funny, but that's the kind of technology that they're introducing, which doesn't really make sense when you think about it. Someone needs to sit down and really think about security. So, with cashless society, the problem is that we would maybe not have all the freedom and protection that we once had, even though it seems a little annoying to carry around physical money. There's actually a reason why we have it. Number 6, soul extraction. I know this one sounds a little weird, but we have a scene where the devil himself is walking Burns, that rich guy, into a soul extraction facility. Now, this might sound completely far-fetched, but in actuality, there were ancient religions where they would trap your soul in an icon unto Dionysus. I think her name's Dionysus. Yeah, that's what it was. Let me go find that real quick here. Yes, I found it here. It was Dionysus. The tearing apart and eating alive of a sacrificial victim refers to the earliest history of Dionysus. Ancient, violent cult rituals existing since the dawn of paganism, stipulated by eating alive or drinking blood of an enemy or animal, a person might capture the essence or soul strength of the victim. The earliest Norwegian huntsmen believed this idea. They drank the blood of bears in an effort to capture their physical strength. East African Maasai warriors also practiced mafegia, and they sought to gain the strength of the wild by drinking the blood of lions. Human victims were treated in this way by headhunters of East Indies in effort to capture their essence. You might have seen this in a few odd Chinese martial arts type of magical movies where you'll have black arts practicing bad guy who captures people's souls and stuff like that. You might have seen a few videos or movies like that. So, but you know, the whole idea is that with soul essence being taken by another, maybe there is something to that. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of an odd one to throw in there as well. Number 7, Donald Trump predicted as President of the United States. Now, of course, you've probably seen a million videos about this Simpson prediction already, but let me tell you something that you don't know already. A lot of those videos you watched about Donald Trump becoming president, they'll usually show you a scene that allegedly came from 2000 where he's going down an elevator and he's waving. And it just so happened that the 2000 scene of Simpsons has him waving with his two arms in an interesting pattern, and then all of a sudden Donald Trump does the exact same waves, right? I'm sure you've seen many videos on this if you're into this whole Simpson prediction thing. Well, guess what? That isn't from 2000. That's actually a Simpson episode that was made right after he did the elevator scene. So all those conspiracy videos you saw on Donald Trump going down an elevator and that somehow predicted Donald Trump would do that were completely fooling you. Of course, I'm sure a lot of those people who created those videos probably didn't even know that. They probably just assumed it was from the 2000 episode. There is actually a 2000 episode about Donald Trump, and it did predict he would be president, but there was no elevator scene in the 2000 episode. The elevator scene was in the 2015 episode. Okay, now that I have you completely confused, hopefully I don't. The point is that the 2000 episode actually predicts that he does become president, and that the whole entire American economy collapses. Let's just hope that prediction is not correct, and that if he does become president, the American's economy does not collapse. Okay, that would not be very good for the entire world, actually, not just America, but since we have such a huge footprint on the global market, that would be very devastating for the entire world. Number 8, a catastrophic environmental event. In this scene, Marge and Homer Simpson are on vacation in New York, swimming, scuba diving, above the Empire State Building. That's a little weird. Yeah, the entirety of New York City is underwater. Okay, that's a little shocking. Sort of like a Noah's flood there, right? And then the next picture is of course, Marge and Homer Simpson at the South Pole. And it's now a desert. So obviously a major upheaval in our environmental situation here. Yeah, like a desert at the South Pole. All the ice is melted, and now it's over New York City, right? Well, I mean, I think what it's kind of saying is maybe we will have some sort of environmental upheaval in the near future. Things haven't been going so well. We are increasing at an exponential rate with our technology. Could something very catastrophic happen? Yes, could very well happen. Number 9, people rejecting new tech control will become outcasts. Now, I had a hard time actually sort of titling that one because it's sort of hard to explain. Let me just try to here. We have Maggie Simpson, the youngest, the baby, at one time a baby on Simpsons, is now pregnant. She's also a pop singer. She's very famous. And she wants to basically be beamed over to another state. And she can't go through it because she's pregnant. So she has to go still fly on those old planes that we used to use. And the planes seem to be run by basically Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Okay, it doesn't look like normal people. It looks like sort of the outcast of society, which kind of lends to the concept of this cashless society scene, that if you don't accept this cashless society technology, you'll be sort of an outcast, and the outcast is running the old technology. The old technology is not being beamed to another state, but rather flying those old planes. So you have sort of an odd scenario. You know, you have this odd scenario of kind of like the rich and the poor, or maybe these people who are not necessarily poor, but people that just don't want to accept this technology because of the loss of freedoms. right? When you take this cashless society, you are plugged into the system. When you're plugged into the system, maybe there's a way backdoors into using these microchips to control people, to advertise to them in their mind, which is what we see in these scenes with Homer Simpson, is him being advertised in his mind, Marge being advertised in her mind. Homer Simpson accidentally opens a virus, and then he goes crazy. So the concept of you having a microchip in your brain so that you can go on the internet anytime you want, as we saw with Lisa Simpson's daughter, Homer Simpson opening an email with his brain, accidentally with a virus in it, and it makes him actually receive an illness from the virus. So maybe these people would be outcasts who don't accept these microchips, who don't accept this cashless society, and they're the ones running the old technology, and that's why we see this crazy scene of sort of like an apocalyptic Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome type of situation with this the plane scene. That's just my kind of thoughts on that whole thing, and that actually could be something that happens where people don't want to accept it, sort of like the Amish for the future. You know, the Amish don't accept the old technology. What about we have sort of people in the future that don't accept this new technology? And that's just my thoughts on that. Number 10, genetic hybrid animal humans. Yes, in the future on The Simpsons, their dog is no longer just a normal dog. He's like a half-human, intelligent animal. And actually, we can see that again, as kind of relates back to the whole cloning thing from number 4. Indeed, we could be having really weird genetic hybrid animals in the future. Don't be too shocked. If they allow cloning in the future, they're going to allow genetically modified animals in the future, okay? And if they try to have sort of a eugenic type approach to it, where they're trying to get the most intelligent animal, the most versatile animal that can do all these things that you want your pet to do, your pet could end up being your servant, or maybe a robot, you know? It's really weird, okay? And actually, I think this is sort of the degradation of our society going towards a very weird Orwellian future that probably won't end very well.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please share it with others, like and subscribe. Also, check out our forums and make sure to get a copy of the 10 ebook collection on Freemasonry so you can truly understand and know your enemy. There is some seriously twisted stuff going on as of